Ladies and gentlemen, it's the last round of, it's the penultimate round of the Neo Racing League season. And we're here for another Grand Prix here around Britain. And we are here today for a race that could decide the title. We're here with Shoot Fizz sitting on 167 points ahead of Speed Queen in second place. They sit with 136, 31 points behind. If you look at the top of the standings now, it will be Shoot Fizz Speed Queen, who has to outscore Shoot Fizz by at least 13 points to stay within title contention tonight. My name's Jamie Callisto, and alongside me isn't Stig. I'm alone tonight for now, and he might respond to. Sorry, that's me being mean. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, welcome along to the penultimate round. I've almost done it twice. The penultimate round of your Neo Racing League season. We're here for the British Grand Prix, and well, the race that decided the title last time out could decide the title once again. It was JPS versus Jöns Rhombos last time out. Jöns Rhombos not even racing this evening. Instead, we are, well, we're in the pleasurable company of Shoot Fizz and Speed Queen, the battlers for the title. We're here in Q2 at the moment at Shoot Fizz, going right up to the very top with a 26.4, which is the fastest time of all so far, 6/10 ahead of JPS in P2. JPS, of course, as I mentioned last time out, championship leader. Let me just get the intro for the YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome along. It's the penultimate round of your Neo Racing League season, and we're here with a title on the line. 167 points between Shoot Fizz and... I've done it wrong again. Third time lucky. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome along to another round of your Neo Racing League season. The penultimate round of the season. Round number 13, I want to say. Yeah, round number 13. I know my stuff. Round number 13 of this Neo Racing League season. And we're here today with the title on the line. Shoot Fizz, 167 points, 131 for Speed Queen. And this title could be decided as early as this evening. I'm here today. My name is Cockcast, aka Joseph Black, and I'm here to take you through a Neo Racing League race, ladies and gentlemen. I came and visited briefly when I was in when we headed to the Chinese Grand Prix. Haven't been here for a while, full time at least. Of course, this is where I made my comms debut, and a year ago, tomorrow, I commentated on, which one was it? Was it the Netherlands, the Dutch Grand Prix? Anyway, much around the final corner, trying to match Shoot Fizz's 26.4. Can't do it, and a 28.4 is what he's done. Briars, how on earth have you found this? I haven't even pinged anybody yet. How on earth have you found this? Anyway, yes, so it was a year ago yesterday that I took you through the Dutch Grand Prix, but of course the Dutch Grand Prix this time around was a little bit different. We were joined by two Dutch drivers in the Neo Racing League last time out, and it was a double podium for them. But it wasn't a double podium in the end, with Kwek Melly being knocked off the podium, and P3 going to Marchmeister, who removed his penalty and climbed back up onto the podium position. So the Latvian man, the owner of the league, he'll be pretty happy with that one. And we will see as we head through this race what ends up going on. I am just trying to find the last time I did commentary on a Neo Racing League race. It was a very long time ago. I mean, there was China, as Vakuli's not improving in the second sector. Don't forget as well, we've got Q2 and Q3 ahead of us. And then the grid will be decided. Vakuli is going to continue on this lap, and he's going to come around the final couple of corners. The V-Carb will come up to the line and will try to be at 26.4. He wasn't improving, though, on his 27.8 and a 27.9. Well, that's just proof that he wasn't improving. It's been 6 months since I last took you through a Neo Racing League race. Wow, that is insanity. It was... Right, the 12th. It was the week of the 12th of October. So whatever that was the last time I took you through a Neo race. That's insane stuff. So the 20... What was it? The 25th, did I say? No, the 12th. What am I talking about? It was... The 10th of October was the last time I took you through a Neo race. Nope, the 9th of October. 10th was the Thursday. 9th of October. That's mental. I didn't even know that. How didn't I know that? Anyway, back to the point. This guy Neo is heading through the first sector, the second sector even, and onto the third, improving by 0.6 of a second, but trying to improve even more on his 28.1 that he has at the moment. It will be a 27.5, so he'd be improving by about 3 positions in with Ali Al-Rabai, but of course he's got 1 sector to go. Marchmeister retires from this session, 136 left. He doesn't feel as though he's going to be able to make it round. Jens Jordal and Kwek Melly feel as though they're comfortable in Q3. So does Shoot Fizz. Up to the line comes this guy Neo and knocks Constant Soda out of the session. The McLaren, who was sitting in the pit lane, will now not have the opportunity to improve on his lap time, and that is the end of this guy Neo's session. A 27.3, a 27.5 even is what he set. So it's pretty close, 27.3 for Jens Jordal and 27.5 for Ali Al-Rabai. So if we get a couple of good laps in here, then it could be very interesting. Rapsikoda, of course, serving a qualifying ban, so he is down in P14 and will be starting from P14. Hamflap Kelly heading through the second sector now. He currently sits in P3. Surely he doesn't feel as though he has to go for another lap, and no, he actually backs out of this one and pulls off to the side. JPS going round as well. I'd say anybody, well, I mean, the only driver out of qualifying so far who's still in it, Speed Queen, so I think Vakuli has something to work for. He's in the pits, so I don't think anyone here needs to set another lap time. Genuinely, I don't think anybody here needs to set another lap time. I think it's just Speed Queen who needs to, and if she can improve by 2.5 seconds, then she'll be all right, and she's already improved by a whole second in the first sector. So I think Speed Queen's going to be all right in terms of making it through, which means that Vakuli will be knocked out of Q2 alongside Constant Soda and Marchmeister, as well as Rapsy, who, of course, had his issues with qualifying ban as well. Speed Queen heading through Cops now and coming out on the exit of it. Looking to make herself the 10th driver to head through as the checkered flag is waved. Drivers are coming across the line now and not chasing that 26.4 as Speed Queen comes up to the second sector. 2.5 seconds. That's all she needs to do. All she needs to do now is cruise up to the line, do exactly what she did in that last lap, but you just get the feeling that she's not going to do that. She's going to try and blast it out of the water, and around the final couple of corners she comes. Kelly, Yordle, Melly, and Vakuli all finishing their laps, and this guy Neo pulling into the pits as well. Around the final corner comes Speed Queen. Is she going to challenge that 26.4 as she comes up to the line? She's not too far off, you know, 26.6, and our two championship contenders will be going at it once again in this session. JPS improving on his 27.0 at the moment, but that is only in the first sector. He's going to come up to the second sector split time now. The second sector is where you want to gain all of that time, and he's gained a 10th. So he will be the third driver into the 26s. Funny way ban across the line. He will be the final driver to finish at all, will JPS. Ali retiring from the session. He is safe and through. JPS now 2 more corners to go. And up to the line he will come to try and set a lap time better than his 27.0. He doesn't need to, but this is just for glory as he comes up to the line. Third place, I'm predicting, as he comes up to it. Yeah, 26.6. So potentially even second place. Yeah, JPS here showing the pace of the two championship contenders. How late is he leaving that one in the session? But how quick is the South African, as Constant Soda tried to set a lap on mediums, didn't work, and he's out of Q2, despite claiming that he was going to be getting that pole position time earlier on. It's Shootfizz who takes that provisional pole position, 2 tenths ahead of JPS and 4 tenths ahead of Hamflap Kelly in P4, and a whole second off of Ali Al-Rabai, the last driver to make his way through and squeak his way through, 3 tenths ahead of Vakuli. So the top 10 have been decided, and they're going to scrap it out for the rest of this qualifying session. Of course, Britain, a great place for Neo Racing League action. We've seen it time and time again, how incredible the action can be here in Britain. And hopefully we will get exactly the same thing once again tonight. But of course, these things will all be decided. We will have a title to fight for, 13 rounds, and this could be the end of it, with Shootfizz sitting out on top at the moment as it stands. But Speed Queen hoping to chase that down. Gary Gator not racing tonight. He would have tried to have some influence on that championship battle, but alas, he's not been able to. And so he will just have to sit and wait and watch these drivers as they go around this track. And it's, I think he'll be quite disappointed by that. I would be, personally, if I was him. The fact that he wouldn't be able to go for that lap time. But, yeah, it is, in fact, what it is. And it's entirely his fault that he wasn't able to rock up tonight. Someone had a football match. And, well, he's only got himself to blame. Q2, or Q3 even, is underway. And Kelly, Jay, Ali, Shootfizz, Funny Wave Band, and David are out on the circuit. Here's a fun fact for you. Fun fact of the day. Shootfizz, when he last raced in the Neo Racing League, I knew him as Fizz. He is now just known as Shoot. Fun fact. And, well, if your name is Jamie, he's known as Shoot Fizzle. So, yeah. I'm being so mean to Jamie tonight. So, anyway. So his teammate, Hamflap Kelly, will try and seal the Constructors as well, which is also on offer this evening. There's a lot, essentially, on offer this evening for the two Aston Martins, particularly Shoot, but Kelly could help in sealing the Constructors as well. So it's not all said and done. And, well, you never quite know what's going to happen in the Neo Racing League. It is one of the best leagues for that reason. And genuinely, I say this being actually genuine, right? The Neo Racing League is one of the best leagues that I have ever seen. And I mean this. Even, like, I'm an admin. I'm completely biased. But the Neo Racing League is the best, is one of the best leagues that I have seen in terms of just flat out action. That Jay and Rhombos battle last season was genuinely one of the best title battles I've ever seen in league racing, ever. So this is the championship picture, in terms of the Constructors at least. Shoot Fizz and Hamflap Kelly, 191 points, and the two Sheppers, Rupsy Cola and Queck Melly, on 125. And Aston Martin, I think they're in better stead than Shoot Fizz is to take the title tonight. I do think they're in better stead, because 32 points for a Constructor is quite a lot. And especially in the Neo Racing League with the point system the way it is, I think that's just, it's a huge gap that I don't think they're going to be able to come back from, in terms of the two Williams drivers and Red Bull just sitting behind. And it was basically only, as well as Shoot Fizz goes up to 26th, it was basically only I've lost my train of thought. Anyway, but yeah, 19 points for taking victory here in the Neo Racing League. 32 points would be the total. And so anything barring a 1-2 for Williams and a DNF for Aston Martin, double DNF even, would be the way that they take victory. So 19 plus 14 is 33, plus fastest lap as well. The only way I'm thinking that they could take it is 1-2 and both the Aston Martins not scoring points. That's the only real way I can think of it. JPS going 26.5, showing that he's competitive. Speed Queen in the final sector. The three drivers who were in the 26s. Funny Wave Bands made it close with a 27.0. Speed Queen final couple of corners. We'll see whether she's able to go into the 26s, but it's now. Now is not necessarily the time you want to be the quickest. Speed Queen 26.5. So she and JPS pretty matched, actually, throughout this session. And we'll see what happens towards the end of it. Maybe we could have somebody new, someone like Neo, coming through and setting a lap time. Yeah, 34 is maximum amount of points you can get. So it's basically done and dusted in terms of the Constructors, unfortunately. But it's not fully done yet. I can do my maths, March, don't worry. I can do my maths, you know. Because it's 19 points for a victory, 14 for second place, and a point for fastest lap as well. So 34 is the maximum they can get. Neo up to the line will not be a 26. 27.4, slowest of all. Queck Melly, 27.8, slowest of all. Jens Jordal goes up into 5th with a 27.2. Only 2 thousandths ahead of David. David, who is very notably quick around this circuit. And I'll have to see what he's able to do. He's 107. I remember reading 170 something in the world. I could be completely wrong. I'm just going to have a look now because he did gloat about it earlier. He did gloat about it earlier. But yeah, everybody coming in to get ready for their second laps as it stands. I am just looking for this David lap. Yeah, 23.9 is what he's been able to do. And yeah, Red Bull are out of contention, by the way, of the Constructors. Shoot Fizz 26.1. Oh, I can't be bothered, mate. He's so quick. I'll give him that. 4 tenths on Jay And 4/10 on Jay and Speed Queen. Almost a whole second on everybody else. There's levels to this game. He's not going again, thankfully. He's a second off in that first sector. 25s would be unheard of. Also, David said if it gets below 26 twos, he's doing the glitch. I don't know what the glitch is, but it's gotten to 26 ones. I don't know if that passes the threshold, but David could be flying up there at the top. Kelly's back out on the circuit. He's out of sync with everybody else, interestingly enough. Also, it looks. And he'll be trying to set a lap time, I think, earlier than everyone else. It's either that, or he will be going for a double lap run, which means that he's just going to try and burn off all the fuel that he can now. But it doesn't look as though he's doing that. It does look as though he's just going to try and push for this one. But now, yeah, it's not going to be a double lap run. So Kelly's just going to be out of sync. He could be giving his teammate slipstream, which would be huge. Sorry, I was just trying to process the fact that he could give his teammate slipstream and Fizz could get into the 25s. Don't tell me he's doing that. I know they're in a VC, but don't tell me they're doing that. We'll see. Kelly, 2 minutes left in the session. He's on a push lap. David and Jay are out. David, I want to see this glitch, so we'll watch David in a minute. It's definitely not going to work, or at least it's not going to visually work. Kelly not improving in the first two sectors, but only by a little bit. So we'll see where the Aston Martin ends up going. He's got a couple more corners. Nope, he's coming into the pits. He is going to try and go one more time. JPS has just started on his last lap of this session, 1 minute 35 left. I don't think Kelly's going to be able to set another lap, or at least go out. Jens neither. So 27.2 and 27.4 is going to be where they peak at. JPS heading through the second sector now. We'll see where the Mercedes ends up going. He might get a bit of slipstream off these two Ferraris, Funny Way, Bandali, who are currently sitting in P4 and without a lap time in P10. So these two at the moment. Jens forgot to drive out. And Shoot saying that he's going to do a 25 because I said that. Because I said what? I don't remember what. Did I tell him to touch grass? Probably. Anyway. So, yeah, Jay's heading through the first two sectors. He's going to try and head out into the third. He's going to try and challenge Shoot for the 25s, but I think it's unlikely. And yeah, there we go. Purple second, allegedly, but 0.023 isn't really the improvement that you'd be looking for if he's looking to gain 3.5 tenths. And now he's got a couple of corners to go. We'll see where the Mercedes ends up. 26.1 is the benchmark by Shoot Fizz. He is out trying to set a better lap time But around the final couple of corners he comes. Where's he going to go? 26.5. So not an improvement for JPS. Speed Queen in the first sector improving just a little bit. David coming across the line has not improved on that lap time. And Funny Wave Band just coming across the line now to start his lap. So is Ali Kwekmeli. In the final sector, he's improved by half a second in the first two sectors. And the Williams is now going to head through the final one. We'll see what he's able to do. His brother had a qualifying ban, and the Williams team, the only team able to topple Aston Martin at the top, and Kwekmeli improving by a second. It's not enough to go up to the very top of the standings. Now switching back to Speed Queen, who's improving by 1.12 seconds in the first two sectors, and is going to try and do exactly the same in the third, although it will be potentially 0.3 that she's going to try and improve if she wants to get up onto that pole position. Now 2 more corners to go, or at least one more braking zone. Yellow flags out. That is for David, who's pulled over to the side and will not be improving on his 27.2. Speed Queen up to the line, not an improvement. Shoot Fizz, not an improvement. Speed Queen did improve onto the front row, not enough for an improvement to topple Shoot Fizz. And Funny Wave Band now looking to go around the final couple of corners. Where is the Ferrari going to go? I don't think it's going to be up there with those top 3 who had incredible pace. This guy Neo went up there 26.8, just ahead of Kwekmeli. Funny Wave Band is coming around the final couple of corners. It's him, it's the Ferrari, and it's David, who I believe's backed out of a lap. Yes, he has. So it's the Ferraris to finish us off. Funny Wave Band up to the line in 6th. Ali up to the line in 7th. And that is the end of your qualifying session. Shoot Fizz up to the top with a 26.1. Speed Queen second place with a 26.4, and JPS third with a 26.5. Those top 3 have shown the pace all qualifying long, although they have been challenged just that little bit by Neo, Kwekmeli and Funny Wave Band, who are also close together. Ali as well, all within a tenth of each other. So this race is set to be enthralling, and we will head to it very, very soon. And, well, it'll be lights out very, very soon as well. Allegedly, Marchmeister has said that we're going to be getting going at 15. He's edited it now to say 16. A very, very quick turnover. A very, very quick turnover. But in the meantime, feast your eyes on, well, the championship finale from last time out. It was Jay versus Jöns Rombos.
Are spinning at Silverstone. Good start from Jay. DJTT also had a decent start, but look at JC around the outside, heading through the first 2 corners. JC still side by side with the Ferrari, heading into the next corner, the right-hander. They're still fighting side by side, trying through entry to do a switchback, but can't quite pull it out. And DJTT stays in second, with Alistar jumping ahead of Neo. Actually, no, Neo gained positions as well. Mantis dropped to Ropsy has gained the place. Rombos had a shocking start. He's dropped down to 8. Kelly and Rombos are now swapping places. Heading into Lawfield, contact between Mantis and Williams. Multiple cars involved in this one, which leaves Rombos dropping to 9th place. Matt also gained position on debuff, so Matt's 11th. And yeah, JPS currently in the lead from the Ferrari, from the Kicksauber, from the Haas, who had a tremendous start, who's got ahead of Alistar to get that 4th position from the Alpine Reserve, as they now go through the straight in the 3rd sector. Look at how close they all these top 5 drivers are. Then it's pretty much a second sort of a DRS train, starting from Ropsy, who's being attacked by Handflap Kelly for P6 as they head to the club section. Will Ropsy do a switchback? Tries to hang it around the set, pushed off the track by Kelly. And Ropsy loses multiple positions as a result of that. Kelly also lost position to Mantis and David now as well. Crazy things going on as we see Kelly and Ropsy calling Rombos swapping positions. Rombos now down to 11th outside of points. What's going on with Rombos? Does he have damage to his front wing? Yes, he does, on the right-hand side of his car. He has no end plate, and that is pretty much costly in terms of the championship chances. And DRS will now be enabled through this straight, which will mean DJTT and JC will attack on both sides of Jay.
That was a little tester there of a couple of things that I've got planned for the next season. But for the time being, we head right back into the action. And, well, we'll head right back into not just my voice, but hopefully we have the voice of Louis Briggs, a.k.a. Gary Gator as well, alongside me. Can you hear me and can you speak? So I can test that everything's working. Take that as a firm no. That may well be me, actually. That may well be an issue on my end. Hang on. Give me 2 seconds. We're on the formation lap, so it doesn't matter too much that we've got these issues right now. Right, can you talk in 3, 2... What's I'm waiting for the hardware to boot up now.
Can you hear me now?
I can, yes.
Cool. Do you mind giving me an invite so I can watch it?
That is fine if I have you added. I believe I do. So hopefully so. Just while we wait for the formation lap to be over, all the preparations are ready to be complete, and the drivers will be getting underway very soon. I don't think... Are you online?
I should be. Let me have a lock.
Have you changed your name or something? Or what's your EA name?
No, it should be right. I might have to. Do you want to add Hound of Doodle? Do you want me to send it to you?
You might want to add me. Cockcast_1. The Steam one, not the Xbox one.
Wait, sorry, how do you spell that?
Like you'd spell my name. Kotks.
I've received an invite from someone else.
Okay, wonderful.
I shoot Fizz. Whoa, man.
He wants that comms for the championship finale, I'm telling you.
He wants the comms. I'll have to have a look at the permutations and everything, but should be a good one, hopefully.
Well, it's 167 points for Shoot Fizz and 131 for Speed Queen, the two drivers on the front row as we get up to the line and we get ready for racing action here in Britain. It was where the last title was decided. It could be where this title is decided. It was round 14 last season. Round 13 is ready to get underway here, and we are ready to go to the 5 red lights here in Britain for the 13th round and what could be the last round of this championship, as there is 4 drivers with drive-through penalties as the lights are out and the action is underway. Shoot Fizz does not have a penalty. His teammate Hanflap Kelly does. He sits in P3. Drivers have gone off the circuit in the background, but Speed Queen down the inside into turn number 3, trying to take that championship and race lead as well. Swapping to the inside line, trying to make the move stick, can't quite do it. And Shoot Fizz holds on to it as Hanflap Kelly just follows the Red Bull in behind. But Shoot Fizz holding on to the lead for the time being. The inside line beckons for Speed Queen, who takes it and is down the inside. Goes through on Shoot Fizz and makes P1 stick in the background. There's contact between Jay and Hanflap Kelly, and Jay going off of the circuit, dropping all the way down. That will not be good for the Mercedes, as he had such a good qualifying session. And now he's going to try and regain all those positions, get back from square one. Jens and Funny Wave Band side by side. Jens coming through. Rupsy Cola trying to go around the outside of Constant Soda and getting through. Ali could get through as well, pushing Rupsy through these corners, and that takes Vakuli a chaotic first lap here in Britain. Sees Vakuli lose a little bit of that front wing, I think, but it sees Speed Queen taking that race lead off of Shoot Fizz as we enter lap number 2 and head to the end of this first lap. It's the Red Bull on top. Hanflap Kelly dives into the pits. Constant Soda, Marchmeister and Vakuli, the other drivers with those drive-through penalties. Kelly comes in. Are they all going to filter in as well? I believe they are. That's Constant Soda, Rupsy Cola, Marchmeister and Vakuli all into the pits. Of course, Vakuli didn't have that drive-through, but he did have a little bit of front wing damage. But Speed Queen leading this one on the end of lap 1. Shoot Fizz looking to the outside line of the Red Bull, trying to make the move stick, trying to go through, switching to the inside line now. Could this be the move that the Aston Martin wants? It is for the time being, and Shoot Fizz back up into this race lead.
Quack Melly on the softs. He'll be trying to go for this very early on. He could maybe get Speed Queen, but no DRS. But there's 4 drivers behind the 2 championship contenders on softs. They could play a part in this, maybe an early undercut or just using the tyres to their advantage. This could be close if they able to stick in DRS. This could get very interesting very quickly.
It could get very interesting very quickly. Shoot Fizz had that DRS on Speed Queen last time out, so the Red Bull had a disadvantage that now switches to an advantage as they head to the second DRS straight on this circuit. Of course, the main straight not being a DRS straight, but the back straight certainly is, and they're going to open it up as they head down now the straight, potentially looking to the inside, pulling out of the slipstream quite early. Fizz pulls to the inside. Neo gets through on Quick Melee, and Speed Queen opts to sit behind the Aston Martin for the time being. David gets through on Quick Melee as well. So the Williams losing 2 positions in the space of 1 DRS zone, and could be losing another one to Jens right in behind. But we end lap number 2 and head on to lap number 3. New race leader. It's one of your championship contenders. It's the other one, Shoot Fizz, who leads this race away.
I think this guy Neo could be there very soon. On the softs, 3 tenths behind. He will be trying to get P2 and maybe try to control the race lead on the softs. He doesn't want these guys to get away too quickly. Because if he can stay in that DRS, he could maybe even stay out for as long as the medium runners.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one to see how long those softs actually last, because I think most of the strategies here will be soft, medium, or softs, mediums, or medium soft. Rupsies come into the pits for a set of the hard compound tyres, so very interesting stuff there to see from the Williams, who dives in. Actually, I think he might be switching off for the set of the hard. Yellow flag on the circuit. It's a funny wave ban potentially as well, being involved in with his teammate Ali with no front wing end plate. So the 2 Ferraris coming together, but Speed Queen trying to pressure Shoot Fizz now into Maggots and Beckett. But it'll be another DRS straight where the Red Bull will be trying to get through now. Neo and David, though, right on the rear, and they're going to try and fight with each other, maybe, before they even fight with Speed Queen. They head down the straight. DRS is open. Slipstream is more available for David than it is for Neo, but they both sit in behind. Shoot, trying to hold on to that race lead, and he does so.
Speed Queen just staying. Oh, Shoot's about a big lock up. Big lock up there. Ooh, that was tight. He could have lost the race very easily there, but Speed Queen is right on the rear. They're going to go side by side through Abby. Ooh, bit of contact. Speed Queen, can she get around the outside? No, she goes off a track. This could allow this guy Neo to get through. Think it will. No, he just sits behind, but Speed Queen's going to be very out of sorts on the exit. This could allow Neo another chance to get through, and maybe potentially David as well. But Speed Queen might be pushing to overtake Shoot here. Nope, she just sits in. Oh, never mind. She's gone for it. Just going on board of her.
Yeah, Speed Queen right in behind Shoot Fizz right now, and looking to make that move more than you think she would. I think at the moment, in her mind, if she can get as many drives in front of Shoot Fizz as she can, then she can take that advantage home and try to climb up. Of course, she can't lose more than 13 points, otherwise she loses the title. JPS in the meantime getting past Quick Melee before Maggots, and the Mercedes up now, ready to attack Jens Jordal and ready to try and go further up. He was the 3rd quickest driver in qualifying, and he's going to try and do exactly the same thing. Speed Queen looking to the outside line of Shoot Fizz. Could be going around the outside. Can she make this move? No, she doesn't quite have the grip, and she just sits in behind. Could it be a move into the final braking zone of this lap? It's around the outside. She looks, but Shoot Fizz just has that one covered off, and the Aston Martin holds on to the lead for another lap. The Red Bull putting him under so much pressure at the moment. And at the moment, he's soaking it all up.
The disadvantage for Speed Queen is she has used loads of her battery. Shoot has got a lot more than her. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to reveal that, but Speed Queen's got less than half of them. So I wouldn't be surprised to see if Speed Queen might want to go for the lead of this race and then try charge her battery up. But could be quite close into Brooklyn.
I think she's just now going to try and it's just all about settling into this race. We're a 5th of the way into it, and Speed Queen hasn't quite settled. She can't quite decide what she wants to do, whether she wants to attack forward or just stay in behind. I think at the moment, sitting in behind could be a good call, and just trying to charge up again for one more attack. Shoot Fizz's mediums will last about as long as hers if they both don't push. But if she does push, then she'll have to be on the disadvantage and come in potentially for a set of the hard compound tyres. Rupsi Cola, 3-second time penalty as he heads into the final couple of corners. Funny wave ban, making his way past Ali and Vakuli, and Constant Soda scrapping as they head into the second sector. So some big chunks of difference between the drivers. Of course, the top 9 separated from 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th, and then Rapsicola down in 14th, 38 seconds off of the pack, but Constant Soda holds on ahead of Bakuli, despite Bakuli having those soft compound tyres.
Contact between the top 2.
Speed Queen around the outside of the penultimate corner and into the final one then, trying to go through, but can't quite do so. No damage for either of those drivers, and Speed Queen just sitting in behind for the time being, and, well, tried to go for a move. It didn't quite pay off. She does seem to be trying to go for it with that DRS, and trying to take advantage of the final corner. Seems to be the overtaking opportunity that she wants to take, and if she can set it up well with that DRS, then it is absolutely perfect. It's another DRS straight, but she's closer to Neo this time for the first time than she was to Shoot Fizz, and the Mercedes could be trying to look to attack.
This should be around the drop-off point for the softs. I reckon the mediums will start becoming a bit quicker now. This could mean maybe the top 2 drop Neo and David out of DRS, but I'd be surprised. Speed Queen's going for it through cops. Speed Queen up the inside, side by side. Who's going to back off a DRS? So it looks like Speed Queen backed off her. She'll try stick with Shoot the entire way through Max and Beckett's, and then try get a very good run onto the hanger straight, which it looks like she has, using what little of battery she's got left. I think she's going to go for it.
She could be potentially going around the outside, switching to the inside. Late move from Speed Queen. Can she get through? Lunging to the inside line. Switching now to the outside for the final braking zone. Can Speed Queen make her way through? Not quite. And once again, Shoot Fizz holding up the perfect defence. We saw it from Yuns Rombos last time out in Britain, in Season 2 as well, when this was also the season finale. Yuns Rombos defending perfectly. And, well, Shoot Fizz just taking a leaf out of the former Mercedes driver's book and holding on to that race lead at the moment. He's challenging for this title and, well, he's channeling that Season 2, or that Season 1 even, champions mentality as Speed Queen now to the outside line with the DRS. This could be the move for the Red Bull as she heads through, and it is indeed the move. Speed Queen retakes the lead of this race and hopes now that this guy Neo has enough to close in and start to attack the Aston Martin. She's going to try and do, I think, a Hamilton 2016, trying to close Rosberg into everybody else. And Shoot Fizz is going to try and alleviate that and try and get through. There will be overtaking opportunities for them and for Shoot Fizz as well. But it's when they want to take their opportunity. David could be going for a move into Maggots, decides to back out. Doesn't go for it yet on this guy Neo. But they're all looking racy up in at least the top 4, if not the top 6, with JPS closing in on Jens Jordal and could be making this move as well. These top 6 so close together still after 7 laps, and they're going to continue to fight. It could be the outside line for Shoot Fizz. He doesn't quite have enough of a run. JPS, though, tries to get past Jens, goes to the outside, does get ahead, but Jens gets the better exit and holds onto it for another lap.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Jade go for a little undercut here. I reckon around lap 10 to the mediums, try undercut the top 5, you almost try to get track position. Because track position is key around here. You can't really overtake in the DRS train unless you've saved up 100% energy. And even then, people with their good defence and on the same tyres will hold off. Ooh, contact between Jay and Jens.
Yeah, Jay luckily with no damage there. And, well, P6 will remain his for the time being. But he's now going to try and close down potentially with that DRS to try and go for it again. I am going to turn up the game because I feel like it's a little bit quiet. We're not getting the full experience of the F1 game, and well, that should certainly be enough. I've doubled the inputs, and hopefully you get double the audio as Speed Queen holds on to the lead. I know it says that she's just gained a load of positions, but she does hold on to this lead on lap number 8 of this race, and everybody seems now to be settling into this one. Shoot Fizz not going for the move, at least yet, and I think he's either going to wait for the DRS or he's going to wait another couple of laps, just like Speed Queen did before.
Shoot Fizz's ERS management is supreme. He's on about 80%, while Speed Queen's only on 6, defending for her life. Into the inside. Here goes Shoot. Up the inside. Contact. Bit of wheel hook in there. I think Speed Queen will keep the position. But Shoot's gone around the outside, locks up a little bit. No. Good move. But can Speed Queen get him on the exit? No.
not quite, and Shoot Fizz retakes the lead of this race. But these two at the top, fighting desperately for this championship. Shoot Fizz wants to take it on top of the podium, and Speed Queen just wants to take the maximum amount of points she can out of this race. I think these two being on the same strategy is a very interesting call, with both of them on a set of the medium compounder tyre. It does open up a lot of opportunities as Speed Queen once again closing in. It opens up a lot of opportunities for undercuts. It's not necessarily the most dramatic switch in terms of strategy, as Jens looks late on David, doesn't make the move stick. Handflap Kelly comes into the pits to switch off of the set of the softs, which could demonstrate that those softs are now going off. And we could be seeing this chasing pack coming into the pits within the next few laps. Jens looked to the inside of David, didn't make the move. Marchmeister, Constant Soda and Vikuli were 3 wide as they headed out of turn number 3. Marchmeister getting a poor exit. Constant Soda on the outside, Vikuli trying to go to the inside, can't quite get the grip, and it's still going to be a fight between the Haas and the McLaren as they head down the straight. But with the DRS, it's Constant Soda's position to lose now, and he does in fact lose it. Marchmeister holding on, Vikuli now trying to look to the outside line of Constant Soda, and can't quite make it stick. It's Marchmeister who holds on to P10 for the time being. David gets past Neo, and Jens holds on ahead of JPS one more time, but they dropped out of the DRS. And into the pits comes Jens and this guy Neo. The undercut has been triggered from the Mercedes and the Alpine. And we'll see where they end up coming out. It's lap number 10. We're into double figures. Shoot Fizz and Speed Queen have broken DRS to those drivers behind. And that could be crucial.
I saw this guy Neo. I think it was Neo got a 3-second penalty as well. If I'm not wrong. Yeah, he did. So that could be interesting if there's a late safety car. Ooh, looks like Jens has jumped Neo in the pits. Interesting.
Could potentially be the case.
Well, these guys... Oh, sorry.
That's fine.
Are these guys on the mediums?
Yes,
I think staying out on the extra lap on the
race.
softs. I think staying out on the softs is going to cost these two. JPS and David, they'll be losing 2 seconds a lap to the new medium runners. I wouldn't be surprised to see Speed Queen boxing for a set of hards here. The hards aren't the best tyre around here, but if you can maybe undercut Shoot, that could be better just to try get track position. But the alternative is he stays out to around lap 16, lap 17, box a set of softs and goes to the end. I think now these guys have dropped the DRS, this could be a bit of a boring race, to be honest. I think it'll be top 2 fighting each other and then a battle for the podium. Unless there's a safety car, which could happen in Neo. But it depends if Handflap Kelly's near anyone. But I don't think he is at the minute, so...
Speed Queen to the inside line of Shoot Fizz, getting that first place back. And, well, these top two are going to keep fighting, as you say. And I think it's going to be a case of Speed Queen trying to force a mistake now out of Shoot Fizz as David and Jay both come into the pits. Quackmelly continues on. And we'll be doing another lap on a set of those softs, so they'll be stretching very long. Only Quackmelly and Vikuli now will be sitting on a set of those softs as they head onto lap number 11 now, and Vikuli could even come into the pits on this one as David and Jay now out of the pits, and well, David, no, he's just sitting still in the pits. Now he comes out and on a new set of the mediums. Shoot Fizz with that DRS could be trying to get back past Speed Queen, and the strategy could make everything just that little bit more tetchy as there's contact between the two. Speed Queen holds on, but Shoot Fizz managing to hold onto the rear of that car now, trying to go around the outside, could make this move, but instead he sits in behind the Aston Martin, still trying to find an opportunity around Speed Queen. Hasn't quite yet got one to stick in terms of managing to hold on to it with no pressure from behind. It's a 3-way battle, but for P5 between this guy, Neo, Jens Jordal, and JPS. David, 1.3 seconds off, and not quite in this battle at the moment. They stay in formation as they exit the DRS zone, but these three can work together now to try and take victory in this race if they are able to just close down as much as they can the gap on Speed Queen and Shoot Fizz. And if they work together as well with that DRS to try and nullify that undercut, then this race could get very interesting. Speed Queen and Shoot Fizz once again sitting out in the lead of this race, and Jens could be trying to go for the move on Neo as they head out of Maggots and Beckett.
I'm watching a very... Oh, yellow flag detected too. Ferrari crash. I think it might be Ali. No, he's alright. But it's a very good battle for P9 going on here between March, Vikuli, and Constant Soda. Very interesting. It looks like Vakuli's going to be going for it. I wonder if he'll just stay out and try go mediums as late as possible, or he might come into the pits this lap. No, he stays out again. Quackmelly box, so now Vakuli is the final man on softs. He's done very well to take it this far, to be fair to him. Speed Queen and Shoot having a good battle into Brooklands. Side by side, bit contact there. I wonder if Speed Queen's going to be backing them up into the pack here. Because if the new medium runners can get an undercut on them, that could be crucial for if Speed Queen wants to keep going in a championship. This could be absolutely crucial. But I wonder if these two just have too good pace, even on old mediums for the guys behind them.
I think it's going to be interesting between these top two what Speed Queen decides to do, because she could try and back Shoot Fizz into the pack behind, but that would mean that she backs herself into the pack behind as well. And I think it's going to be waiting for the later stint for those strategic opportunities. But Quackmelly now making his way past Marchmeister and a new set of the mediums. These drivers won't have to worry about that championship fight. Quackmelly and Rupsy Cola needed a 1-2 to take anything in this race and haven't done that, so they are now just fighting for glory. Rupsy down at the bottom of the pack. Quackmelly picking up a 3-second time penalty. JPS losing the position to Jens Jordal with the DRS. And this pack are just going to try and work together. David has now made it back into that DRS. He's only 4 tenths behind this guy, Neo, as it stands. And these four need to be very careful about the way they attack the rest of this race. They could easily take a 1-2-3-4 if they manage it correctly. And fastest lap of the race for JPS demonstrates that they have that pace as well. Quackmelly and Constant Soda fighting into the last couple of corners. Quackmelly later on the brakes with those newer medium tyres strapped on and holds on to P9 ahead of the McLaren. Could be now trying to get past Vakuli, who's doing another lap on a set of softs, and you feel as though he's just stretching this stint maybe a little bit too long. Quackmelly down the inside of Vakuli takes that position nice and easily, but has well, he might actually have that DRS as well, to be fair to him, so the perfect place to make that move. David getting past this guy Neo and Jens Jordal and JPS trying to fight. I think Jay there, to be honest, trying to tell Jens somehow that he doesn't want to fight, but they are still trying to fight as they head up to Cops now. Could be the outside line for Jens, the inside line for Jay, and Jay just holding on to it. Jens somehow staying on the circuit and holding on to the position. David getting through as well, but Speed Queen pitting. She's going to try and go long. So is Shoot Fizz. I think he's now just trying to match what Speed Queen's trying to do. I think he doesn't need to take any risks here in order to win this championship in Britain. Speed Queen coming in surely for a set of the softs. Shoot Fizz doing the same. David getting past Jens. This is going to get very close as they come out of the pit lane. And David leading this pack as we head on to lap number 14 now. They've both come out. Funny Wave Band is in the lead of this race. David is in the lead of the chasing pack. It's one of the longest pit lanes in terms of time you spend in there, with it being 37 miles an hour. David, fastest lap of the race, 28.7. New sets of softs.
They're going to get ahead. They're going to get ahead.
Queen
yeah,
and
David leads
Shoot
the
Fizz.
race.
David getting through, Jens getting through, Jay getting through, and Shoot Fizz and Speed Queen now fighting with this guy Neo heading out of the pits. Jay trying to go to the inside line of Jens Jordal. Shoot Fizz trying to go up the inside line of Speed Queen. They're trying to get those softs fired up straight away. It's Jens Jordal now trying to take the position of JPS. Shoot and Speed Queen trying to get themselves involved. Shoot down the inside of Jens. Can he make this move stick? I don't think Jens is going to fight him too hard, and no, he isn't. He's going to let the Aston Martin go, but in doing that, he's also let the Red Bull go through as well. Shoot Fizz now trying to get through on JPS on the outside line of Cops. This is going to be a very bold move if he makes this one stick. It's a great move there from Shoot Fizz, who holds on to P3, and that is that could basically seal that championship, because those drivers that we thought they were going to trip over, they have done no such thing. And Shoot Fizz has made his way through. Speed Queen now trying to make her way through as well. Shoot Fizz trying to close in on David, and Purple second sector
Speed Queen's going to go for
him as well. Could be great. Speed Queen now
Queen's
down the inside of one, of two, and the Red Bull now down the inside of both of them, making that move late on the brakes for Speed Queen. What a move that is. And Funny Wave Band coming into the pits now. David will inherit the lead of this race. Speed Queen sits in P2 with P3 going Shoot Fizz's way, and they're now trying to build up a gap to JPS. Shoot Fizz will not mind if they just scrap over these top few positions, as long as he doesn't drop out of them. But lap number 15 of this race, Speed Queen now
Oh
down
my
the
God.
inside of David. It's a late lunge, and David defending, but
Free
going
wide.
off of the circuit.
Free wide.
Shoot Fizz now around the outside of David, spinning
Oh,
Speed Queen
shoot.
round. Shoot Fizz
Oh,
has
that's
just
naughty.
cost
That's
the battle
naughty, that.
for the championship
That's
by
naughty.
tapping the side of Speed Queen, and the Red Bull went round, drops down to P6. However, I think there may be damage for Shoot Fizz. It's 3 wide for P3. That guy Neo goes through. Shoot Fizz does not have damage. Jens, I believe, may well do. And that could be one that's decided in the steward's room. The two Mercedes trying to go side by side, but Speed Queen, that could be absolutely crucial. And now the safety car comes out for Ali Al-Rabai, who's down on the straight. Perfect timing for Speed Queen, who has the opportunity to come into the pits and fix that front wing.
I don't think Speed Queen got any damage. She just got spun around, but I wouldn't be surprised if seeing a few of them go to mediums. I think Shoot's going to box her. I think he'll go to another set of mediums. I don't think these softs are going to last till the end of the race. But I think Shoot might be in for a 10-second penalty here. I was watching it on board and it looked like he just broke a little bit too late. So I wouldn't be surprised after the race if this is decided in the steward's room.
We'll have to wait and see in terms of that. But into the pits comes Jay.
Shoot staying out. Shoot staying out.
Who was that? Jens Jordal as well. Shoot staying out, as does Speed Queen, who continues on. Jens with a 10-second penalty in the pit lane. That could be absolutely crucial in terms of he actually retires from this session. Why has he retired from this session anyway? Jens Jordal has retired from the session. He will not be fighting for the rest of this race. Everybody's come in, actually, apart from Shoot Fizz and Speed Queen, who are together right up the top once again.
I don't think Speed Queen got any damage. Funny Wave Band now inherits P3. But these guys on the new mediums are going to be flying towards the end of the race and off a start. But that move from Fizz on Speed Queen, that did not look a good move, to be honest. I didn't like that one bit. But see after the race, obviously I'm not steward, so I won't be giving any verdict. But I think David, if he can pass Funny Wave Band quickly, he could be in for a race win here. I would not be surprised.
Jens Jordal coming into the chat saying, yeah, no, don't know what David was doing there. What do you mean, as in when? When and where? What was David doing? I
think David hit him into Brooklands after Shoot punted Speed Queen.
Potentially. I mean, it was... it's one of those... I mean, David's one of the stewards, but he won't be the one looking at that report. Do not worry. And yeah, I'm sure Jens knows that as a steward himself. Not in this league, but elsewhere. But yeah, safety car now neutralises the race. Everybody's gone on to mediums for the rest of it, apart from Constant Soda and Marchmeister. Constant Soda on a set of the hards, Marchmeister on a set of the softs. And, well, Funny Wave Band came in on that previous lap. He has lucked out in this one. The top three doing very well now to try and continue on towards the end of this race on a set of the softs. They've neutralised the race, so they should be a little bit better. And we'll have to wait and see as the race will continue on. And we've only got, I reckon, one more lap under the safety car as everybody tries to catch up. I'm not sure whether they'll let Ali catch up. But we'll have to wait and see. But the top three on a set of the softs, they're in a great position. Marchmeister as well on a set of the softs. This could be close.
This would be interesting. I think March had a fresh set of softs. He got knocked down too. So I think that's he's so obviously David, Jay, all going to keep. So I don't think it's coming a right idea. The drop-off point for softs is around 6 laps into the stint. So Shoot and Speed Queen already 3 laps. I understand 1 or 2 under the safety car, but I reckon by lap 20, David and the medium runners will all be in a better position than these two at the front. It's just whether they can clear Funny Wave Band quickly, who will be fighting for position.
He will be fighting for position, and well, those softs are going to last a little bit longer than Shoot Fizzes and Speed Queens. Of course, they did do some fighting, but they, in the end, decided that they were going to stay out. Everybody is in and out of the pits against Constant Soda on a set of the half. Don't really understand that decision from the McLaren, but he's now going to try and head to the end of the race on them, and we'll have to wait and see Jens saying, never mind, I just saw wrong about the David incident. Fair enough, that is one of those things that happens in the heat of the action in racing, and yeah, it's unfortunate for him there, but he has retired from the session, so he will not be taking any further part. 13 drivers left And, well, 9 laps to go. Who's your money on for this race win? Do you reckon it's going to be Shoot Fizz holding on to it from the top, or do you reckon Speed Queen's going to take the race win, but not necessarily the title?
I don't think it'll be either. I could see Jay winning this. He's got very good pace, and on fresh mediums, they will just be astronomically better than the softs after a few laps. So as long as they can stick within DRS, I reckon this opens up the race a lot. But this also gives an opportunity for all the people who got drive-throughs on the opening lap to get back into position now. So this could be interesting for the likes of Hamplap Kelly, Ripsy, I think Ali, and Constant Soda. It might have been someone else. But could get very interesting. Safety car will be out for another lap.
It will do. We
gives
will
an
be waiting
advantage.
to catch up. And Vakuli's got that 10-second penalty. He's coming into the pits, but that's what happens whenever you come into the pits at Silverstone. You end up getting that penalty.
Why is he pitting?
Set of
Why
softs.
are you pitting? Does he have wind damage?
Set of softs.
Oh, that's interesting. Is that 10-second going to be served? I'm not 100% sure
no,
it will
won't
be. Yeah.
Oh, it will
no,
be,
it will
actually.
Be.
They will be serving that 10-second penalty. That's a shame for Vakuli there. But to be fair, it doesn't really matter because he's in the pits anyway.
Yeah.
So
he would have been last anyway, so...
Well, Shoot Fizz leading this one with Speed Queen and Funny Wave Band, the top 3 sitting on a set of softs. And the end of the race...
Was he...
Don't forget as well, the end of the race, it will be... Well, the title, if Shoot Fizz can stay in this position, it will be decided, and well, it's going to be a very, very close one. I think Speed Queen's going to try and run him incredibly close, and don't forget as well that we do still have one more round that will be coming next week, the final round of the season in Azerbaijan, and well, it could be the title decider. Stick around for the next few laps to decide, or to see whether it will be the decider. If not, then make sure to join us for that final round. But Shoot Fizz must not drop 12 or more points to stay in this one, and that means that he basically anywhere 5th or lower and he's done for. Anything else, and I think he will be absolutely fine. And at the moment, sitting in first place, he's in with a great opportunity to take victory in this race. Vakuli is now caught up after coming into the pit, and the safety car will almost certainly be in this lap. There we go, I've called it once again. And the safety car is going to come in on this occasion. Shoot Fizz will be taking us away as we go from one Aston Martin to another, one safety car to somebody on a similar pace. And Shoot Fizz has just a couple of corners before he's ready to get going once again here in Britain for the penultimate round of the season.
Just to remind everyone, Shoot might be getting a penalty after this race, so even if he wins this race, he could still get a 5 or a 10-second penalty, depending if Speed Queen reports him or not. But I don't think this will be done after this race. I don't think it will be. But it's going to get going now, I think. Yep.
Yeah,
it's got a good launch, to be fair.
Around the final corner to start this one up once again, and Shoot Fizz gets a decent launch ahead of Speed Queen and Funny Wave Band, and holds on to that P1. Everybody got a pretty similar launch, and will be heading away, apart from Marchmeister, who's 1.3 seconds back off Queck Melee, and could be coming under pressure from Constant Soda. The hards, though, nowhere near the grip of the softs, and will be sitting in behind Vakuli and Ali. Side by side for P12 and P13. It's going to be Vakuli who holds on to that position. And, well, Ali with a wobble on the exit, confirming that one there. Rupsy Cola trying to go around the outside of Hamflat Kelly and trying to hold on to the position. It's going to be a late breaking move if he can pull this one off. And Kelly just following Constant Soda through. Rupsy holding on to that inside line. This could be the opportunity for the Williams to get back into the race. This is why you don't retire in the pit lane. You can just keep going and find your way back into it. And Rupsy is back up into the point, into P9. Hamflap Kelly and Constant Soda side by side and behind Kelly, trying to go the long way around. And they're still going to be side by side as they head into Maggots and Beckett's. And if there's one thing I know about these drivers, they do not yield, these two. But Constant Soda gets a poorer exit, and he has to drop behind. Vakuli finds his way through, and he's up into P11. The top 3 have already broken DRS to David. So this is a great chance for them to break away, as DRS will be enabled on that next lap. And, well, Shoot Fizz will be absolutely gleaming at that. He'll be waiting just to seal this title, and I'm sure he'll be thinking about all of those celebrations he's going to have after 1.1 seconds to David. DRS will be enabled on the next lap, but it won't be enabled for any of those drivers as Vakuli has a spin around the final corner and drops to the rear of the field. We head on to lap number 20. Shoot Fizz leads this one.
Just had a look at a warning situation. Shoot Fizz has 2 warnings, while Speed Queen has none. So if Shoot one more time over, that is a 3-second penalty, and that could change this race. Funny Wave Band's done very well to stick with these two. Very well.
Yeah, he's on a set of the new softs. I think all the soft runners at the moment sitting together. Marchmeister, of course, and Vakuli as well. Vakuli having a spin, and Marchmeister was off these 3 already, but these 3 breaking free. And Funny Wave Band is going to just try and sit in with the DRS. A podium for the Ferrari would be a great opportunity for him as he tries to fight for those lower top 10 positions in the championship. And Shoot Fizz is going to lead this one. These two not worrying about the top 10, they're worried about the top 2. Shoot Fizz doesn't want to drop out of the top 5, otherwise he will be missing out on his opportunity to take the championship here in Britain. DRS available for Speed Queen and Funny Wave Band as well. Speed Queen could look to the outside line. Shoot Fizz is going to defend the inside, so Speed Queen's going to be forced around the outside, but doesn't quite get the grip, and it's going to go for it again in the final corner. Can Speed Queen get through? It's going to be late on the brakes for both. Shoot Fizz has defended into this corner so many times. This time it may well be unsuccessful. Speed Queen squeezed all the way to the inside, but it's in the end, it's Shoot Fizz that comes out on top once again, and the Aston Martin holds on to the lead of the race. We head on to 21 or 26, and the Aston Martin still holding firm. Speed Queen could look to the inside line, but chooses not to, and chooses to hold on to the DRS. Vakuli's had another incident, or it may well have been Constant Soda who's gone round down the straight, and those two now off of circulation with the rest of the pack, but could still get points if there's any more shenanigans further up. Speed Queen with that DRS now looking to the outside line once again of Shoot Fizz. It'll be the inside line into the next corner. If she so decides to hold on to it, she doesn't. And Shoot Fizz holds on one more time. In the meantime, these two fighting has opened up the door for this guy Neo to close back in. And he's now 1.1 seconds behind in 4th place. Those medium runners are not out of this battle yet. A move into Cops. Why not? Speed Queen's going to try it down the inside. Shoot Fizz is going to allow her the space, but just sweeps across, slams the door, and Shoot Fizz holds on to P1 once again. These two are having to scrap for the ages.
If they keep scrapping, Funny Wave Band, I reckon he might come through this straight, you know. If he uses his battery, well, he's going to come through with DRS and everything. I think they're blocking him in, though. But looks like the medium runners might be catching up to DRS now. If they keep on fighting like this, it's definitely going to happen. But yeah, they're in it now. This is where it's going to get interesting, these last 5 laps. These softs have reached a drop-off point, so they will start getting bad now. And the mediums of David, this guy Neo, Jay and Quick Melly could be in for a very entertaining finish here.
It could be Constant Soda, I think coming in to retire from this race as well. And that's a shame for the McLaren, who's had such a good season. Of course, it doesn't end here. Don't forget to join us next week as well. Quick Melly trying to get past Marchmeister down the inside. Marchmeister trying to go the long way round and does hold on to that position.
Here goes Speed Queen.
And Quick Melly just sitting in behind, but looking further up.
Speed
the
Queen
top two fighting away. Speed Queen now switching to the inside line. Could this be the move that the Red Bull has been waiting for so long? Speed Queen up into the lead of this race, almost close to contact between the two, and the Red Bull still holds on to it. Now she will try desperately to back Shoot Fizz into Funny Wave Band. That is all she can do, and you can see how much she's trying to close him in and shut down the gap. But Speed Queen holds on to the lead of this race. It will be DRS once again for Shoot Fizz, who is going to now try and, you'd think, easily breeze past. And Funny Wave Band in behind, trying to hold on to it. Speed Queen, though, could be holding on to this one, defending the middle. Shoot Fizz around the long way and can't get through. Is it a final corner move once again? It is. It's a late lunge to the inside line for Shoot Fizz. And he's going to try and stay out of the side pod of Speed Queen because of the incident that they had earlier on. And Shoot Fizz going to the inside once again in the final corner. That was bold. And contact between the two. Speed Queen holds on. Shoot Fizz sort of realising that was not ever on and backing out of it. So these top
going for it. He's going for it.
Still scrapping once again. Shoot Fizz trying to go to the inside but doesn't have the run. And Funny Wave Band trying to get himself involved in the battle. Shoot Fizz going over the sausage curve. Through goes Funny Wave Band. Through goes David. That one mistake could cost him the championship here in Britain. Speed Queen holds on to the lead. David now through to P3. Shoot Fizz dropping to P4. Funny Wave Band's going for the lead of this race down the inside of Speed Queen. She holds on around the outside, holding it all the way through these corners.
Oh, no,
there's contact between David and Shoot Fizz as the Kick Sauber got a poor exit, and Shoot Fizz could now be backed into the two Mercedes. This guy, Neo, following through as they head into Cops and now through to Maggots and Beckett's. He could try and get through now on those mediums. This will be where they will become alive as in comparison to the softs. And this guy, Neo, despite his penalty, will try and fight this one on track. And he will have DRS. Poor exit for Shoot Fizz. Poor exit, especially for Funny Wave Band, who's going to come under pressure from David. Down the inside goes the Kick Sauber. Shoot Fizz is going to box himself in. It's the inside line for this guy, Neo, who's going to try and take P4. He's holding the inside. It's contact between the two. And this guy, Neo, dropping down. Cannot take that position off of Shoot Fizz for the time being. And Shoot Fizz really struggling now on that last lap. That grip has completely gone on those softs.
His tyres are absolutely done now. 10 laps and still 3 to go. I wouldn't be surprised seeing Shoot ending up out the points here if Speed Queen reports that incident as well. He looks like his rear tyres are gone, and he's rear looking up into club nearly every lap now. If he spins, I would not be surprised eventually. But at the minute, I think Shoot, as long as he can keep it, he'll still be on the podium here, I'm sure.
David going off of the circuit and Shoot Fizz heading through, and that is the Aston Martin back up into P3. A great opportunity there for him, but David now back down the inside trying to get through. A big mistake from David that could swing the championship back in Shoot Fizz's favour as he now sits back in the top 3. Speed Queen leading this one. She's got Funny Wave Band sitting behind for comfort, and just as that little bit of a blanket between herself and Shoot Fizz, and David and Neo sitting in behind. This is going to get so exciting. We're almost onto the penultimate lap of this race. And Shoot Fizz, he could win the title today, but it's still not yet decided. It looked oh so decided as they headed into lap number 23. Lap number 24, though, not quite so sure. And David now trying to attack as they head into 25. And the Kick Sauber could decide this championship. Don't forget as well that Shoot Fizz will be picking up, you would think, a penalty that could drop him all the way down to P number 9. So I don't think, or P number 8 even, so I don't think this championship is on today for Shoot Fizz. But we're going to say as if he's not going to get that penalty post-race. Marchmeister, 3-second time penalty. Those could come into effect as well. Shoot Fizz down the inside of Funny Wave Band. Doesn't have the grip. Once again rides the sausage curves. And David tries to box himself in behind Shoot Fizz and tries to head through. Wobble on the exit for Shoot Fizz. And Funny Wave Band goes through. Jesus. David makes it 3 wide. This guy, Neo, makes it 4. Funny Wave Band is on in the lead of this race, of this battle.
David up the inside.
David gets through. Could be getting through on Funny Wave Band as well as the Ferrari. Almost gets backed into Shoot Fizz. And he indeed is. Shoot Fizz around the outside. Spinning David round. Or Funny Wave Band round even. And he drops down the field. And Shoot Fizz here surely has a penalty on his hands as they head around to the final lap of this race. Marchmeister gets through on JPS as he dropped down from that battle after that contact between David and Shoot Fizz as well. The penultimate lap of this race will beckon onto the final one, and Speed Queen is 1.2 seconds ahead.
Quick Melly and
Funny Wave Band look like they've come together as well.
Funny Wave Band doesn't have any damage, but I wouldn't be surprised seeing an absolutely chaotic final lap here. Shoot up the inside of David. He's going for it. Ooh, that was a bit late. This is late. Oh, he's been forced off her. Oh, geez, that's a lot of contact.
And through goes this guy
Neo's got
in
through.
the meantime.
Could March get him? No, he's a bit too far. Where's JPS? Did he have an incident or something?
JPS got caught up in that incident with Shoot Fizz and David and dropped down the order. He was sitting in behind, he boxed himself in and it didn't really work for him. Final lap of this race beckons. This guy Neo sitting in behind in P4 and could be trying now to take the higher positions. It's going to be very close between these drivers as to who will win this one on track in terms of the battle for those final podium positions. Don't forget as well, Marchmeister's welcomed himself into the battle. Looking at the tyres, it's 3, or the penalties, it's 3 for David, 3 for Neo, and 6 for Marchmeister. But don't forget as well, they could also get those removed. The Red Bull heads around to take victory in this race, you would think, unless she makes any significant mistakes. And you'd say as well that she has had the perfect race. Speed Queen, so comfortable. Handflap Kelly goes off the circuit and crashes. So that is a massive moment in terms of the battle for the constructors. But I don't think that they have done enough to hold on to this one. Speed Queen, 1.8 seconds ahead of David, who could be attacked by... What's going on there for David? Stick drift as he goes into this guy, Neo, and penalty will come his way as well. So this one will not be decided on track in terms of the battle for P2, but the battle for P1, that is cut and dry, and it's Speed Queen who takes victory here in Britain. Shootfish comes across the line P2, but I don't think he's won that championship just yet. I think penalties will be coming his way. It will all be decided post-race, I think, in the steward's room. Tyler's got a lot of work on his hands, and Speed Queen does end up taking that victory and closing that championship gap. It is all yet to be decided. At the moment, though, Shootfizz does have that championship.
And Aston Martin are your season 4, I think it is, season 4 Constructors Champions. So congratulations to them. Been a brilliant season from them. Congratulations to Handflap Kelly and Shootfizz. But that was a brilliant race after the safety car. I enjoyed that a lot. That was a good race.
Certainly something special there, and Speed Queen taking that well-deserved victory. And, well, that Britain coming out on top. Shootfizz in P2 and Jay sitting in P3. David taking P4 in the end after that moment on that last lap, with this guy Neo in 5th, Funny Wave Ban in 6th, Marchmeister in 7th, Vakuli, Rupsico and Ali rounding out the points, with Handflap Kelly, Quek Melly, Constant Soda and Jens Jordal, your DNFs. Of course, Handflap Kelly is registered as finishing, so is Quek, and Constant Soda, Jens Jordal, the only one not sitting in those points positions. But what a race that ended up being, and we'll see if we can get a couple of interviews. We'll be right back
JPS is on the
after
podium in the end
this
as
one.
well.
Right, we're back, and we've got a couple of interviews coming in. We've got, well, why don't we bring both of the Aston Martin drivers in? I know they're yapping, but we'll leave them. We'll bring them in, and well, we'll talk to Kelly first, as that was a big sigh there from Shoots, as that was a chaotic race. But Kelly, talk to me about your race.
And I think Rupsy just hugs my rear left tyre, so I'm turning right, and it just sends me left into the barrier. So yeah, just finished me.
Fair enough.
Oh, that's a shame. What about you, Shoot? Talk to me, and I'm sure this one will be a little bit longer and a little bit more chaotic than Kelly's race was.
Oh shit, I was muted. Well, first of all, David and Neo. Jesus Christ. First of all, David literally weaved in front of me. That was why he got in the first DRS straight, which is why he went off track. And then on the hanger straight, oh my days. Literally, I go past him. He then turns into my right rear, which then takes him and Neo out. He just kept on hitting me. That whole time I was near him and Neo just pure hitting me. I think they know
What do you think?
who they want to win.
What do you think about the
already know
incident with
Baku
Speed Queen?
I'm gonna die. Well, Jesus Christ, that was just chaotic. I need to get the clip, but before I hit Speed Queen, I literally just see a little green wing. So then I'm already like halfway through turning the corner, so then I have to quickly fucking give him room. Yeah, sorry. Very sorry. But yeah.
Well, at the minute, you're a champion, aren't you? So, congratulations on that.
Yeah.
But if you get a penalty, I'm sure you're going to be getting challenged in Baku.
I won't be the only one.
Are you going to report them as well, then?
Yeah.
Well, good luck with that, but...
I'm just here for a good time, mate. I'm not going to report anyone.
Also, actually,
yeah, same,
I
Kelly.
do
You barely
remember...
saw anyone, Kelly.
Can I just say, Neo, under the first safe, like when the safe car happened, when I had a 5-second delta at one point.
Ooh.
So that's got to be a pen.
Was he driving slowly behind the safety car, or was it just backing you up?
It was backing me up because I could see. I can't remember who was in front, but whoever was in front was by the corner already, and we were about halfway through.
Fair enough.
And he had 5 seconds delta is diabolical. There's no way to explain it.
Fair enough. Well, we'll let you go back to your expletives in the Aston Martin room, and we will bring in the next interview, and it'll be, I think, a very interesting one with JPS, who was up in that top battle for so long, dropped out somewhere somehow, and I'm hoping you'll be able to give me a little bit more information on what happened to you, Jay, towards the end of that race. So, but we'll start off with just, how was your race as a whole?
Jeez, man, my race was scary. It felt like I was a magnet to all the other cars. On the first lap, I got Amflap Kelly, and I touched each other, and I spun out, and I had to recover. And then I got light wing damage, and then I got completely yellow wing damage, and I just had to survive. I thought the only way is just not to get penalties, because everybody had penalties above me.
Yeah. Smart up.
And then towards the end, then, what happened with that? Because we ended up seeing you drop about a second or two. What happened there?
Yeah, Yeah, I got wing damage. I can't actually remember from who I got wing damage. And one of the Williams tapped me from behind just before Maggots and Beckett's, and I had to gain control again. And then I just used all of my ERS just to try and catch up again. But it was crazy, man. After my wing damage, I let Neo pass as well because obviously he was going to be quicker than I. I was struggling to make the corners. But yeah, man, just holding on.
Yeah, fair play. I mean, yeah, it's from the sounds of things, difficult race, but came through it pretty decently.
Yeah.
What are you looking for now for the last round of the season? Are you looking to take victory? Are you looking to just consolidate?
Just to finish at this time. This season has been a bit of a nightmare. The guys are much faster this season. Yeah, I don't know. These guys are quick. Like Gary, you improved so much, mate. You're doing so well.
Thanks, man. It's a shame, but I wasn't racing today.
Yeah, I might take a step back next season and start working on dropping the assists because there's nowhere else I'll get faster.
Yeah, I mean, it's a new game next season, so everything can change with that. New setups and
Yeah.
everything, so people won't have these insane setups. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a mixed up grid next season. But congratulations on your podium. I've got a feeling it might be P2 by the end of the week. But anyway, congratulations and see you in Baku.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one. Thank you for having me. Bye.
Thank you.
No worries.
Bye.
Enjoy. Which team are you again, Jay? Mercedes? I'll drop you in there.
Mercedes.
I hope that was the right one. Anyway, we can now bring in
It
our
is
race
Mercedes.
victor to talk to us about her race. Speed Queen, talk to me, or talk me through that British Grand Prix.
You were a bit manic.
Understatement of the century. There we go.
Yeah, I wanted that one, sorry.
Fair enough.
That's fine. I mean, to be fair, a lot of it didn't seem to be coming. I don't know how much you were paying attention to the battles behind, but I think a lot of it seemed to be coming as well from those behind. You and Shoot had such a long battle throughout the race. Was there what was going through your mind when Shoot was going down the inside and then you were going down the inside? It was pretty consistent. Was it just trying to keep that stamina up and trying to keep everybody behind, or was it just more you wanted that race? You wanted that race lead regardless of what was going to happen?
Well, I tried breaking DRS a few times, but it's just so hard round here, you know, the way it speeds and everything. Then you're saving battery, then you're having to watch people from behind. Then you're having to think, well, do you overtake or do you wait? It was just one of them where you've had to just be patient, I think. Well, I'll say patient, but it got a bit handbags at times, but it was good hard racing.
Fair enough.
I think good hard racing is exactly what I would describe it as. You did have an incident though, not necessarily your fault, but actually that's the question I wanted to put to you. When you and Shoot came together, thoughts about it? His fault, your fault, or are you even going to report it?
Is that a Whitney?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's who hit you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we'll put it in. We have to, don't we? Just to
If
wind
you
him up.
I mean, if you report it, you've got all the more likely to win it next week, so that could be
Well,
interesting.
there you go. It's a no-brainer, isn't it? It needs to go to that last race, really.
Exactly. I mean, as it stands.
I mean, I've
Shoot
said all
Fizz is-
along it's his to lose. It's been his to lose. So, I mean, I missed first two races and I crashed out at one, so it's been his to lose. But yeah, we could make him sweat for next week, couldn't we?
And
Yeah.
especially around a track like Baku, you can crash absolutely anywhere. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's multiple safety cars and multiple incidents. But anyway, congratulations on your win. And
Thank you
I hope
very
you have
much.
a good rest of your day, week.
Yeah, cheers for streaming everything, guys. Thank you very much.
Sure.
No worries. There's only about 2 hours and 45 minutes left in the day. Anyway, we will bring in the last interview. I don't know if he wanted an interview.
Oh,
or not,
he
but
said
we'll
he
bring
didn't want
in
to.
Mark Master
He
regardless to talk us through
specifically said he
his
didn't
race.
want to.
Did he? Oh no, hang on.
He
Bit late
specifically
now.
said.
That's fine. Anyway, we'll end off then. We'll end off. I think Speed Queen was a good way to end off this one. Absolutely random, chaotic race, but one that could potentially see the race head to a decider next week in Baku. You'll have to keep an eye out for the highlights, and in order to do that, you need to stay subscribed. So make sure to subscribe and stick around, because those highlights will be coming out, and with those will the stewards' reports. So make sure to keep an eye out for those. But until next time, it is goodbye.
Thank you.